All right, folks, it is time for my early thoughts on Fallout 76 video. I've already put out a should you play this game in 2024 video because it's good and you should totally play it. And I've had some time now. I'm, 7 episodes in, I think, in the playthrough, and I've got thoughts about this game. If you've watched the previous videos I've been doing on like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76, I've been alternating my playthroughs of these two games simultaneously. And I did a video the other day called Fallout 76 versus Fallout 4, where we were talking about the comparisons between the two games, sort of some of the differences too. But I really just want to talk to you about what Fallout 76, how it feels to me in terms of a game, why I think it's worth it, and why you should play it in 2024. This goes beyond simply, the mechanics of things. I want to talk a little bit about the emotional attachment that some people have, or in some cases, the emotional rage that they have against Bethesda. Because at the end of the day, it's a Bethesda game, and some people that triggers them for some odd reason. So we're going to work through those issues today in your latest Fallout 76 therapy session. I'm Dr. Renfail. Get comfortable on the couch as we prepare to dive in to the game. Let's hit that play button. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams happen here and on Twitch, usually one early in the morning around 5 a.m. Central. We do another one around noon, and then sometimes we come back in the evening as well. Each time we stream for about 2 to 3 hours, so we do a lot of stuff. Primary stuff happens here on YouTube. There's Discord, there's a Patreon. You can get a copy of my latest fantasy novel. Links are down below.
Warning to all responders. Your farmhands are out of control. Evacuate civilians and take down those supervisors. Once they're dealt with, you'll have to reboot the server. Again.
So I just logged into a repeatable event that's happening right here in front of my lowly, poverty-ridden camp settlement that I've got set up on the banks of this polluted river in the Appalachian Mountains. So ahead of me, you'll see there's these robots that you have to take care of, the farmhand supervisors, and then you'll have to go inside there to reprogram a computer, and that's just one of the many, many, many POIs. If we open up the map, that is that POI right there, and if we expand out, you can see these are all POIs that you can go to and explore, and the map is pretty big. When you start exploring all of this, it's pretty impressive. And they've got a second landmass coming with the expansion that's, I believe, coming in later 2024, which leads me to my first discussion point, which is kind of carried over from my previous video on should you play Fallout 76 in 2024. There is already a boatload of content here. I mean a boatload of content for you to play through. Hundreds of hours of entertainment to be had between the single player missions and the stuff that we just saw that pops up. There's the weekly challenges, like if we go over here and look at the weeklies, the dailies, there's all these challenges that you can do, which someone's asking me today during the morning live stream if I was going to be doing any of the dailies, and it's like, no, not right now, because I still haven't finished. I'm fairly early on in the game, and I still have tons and tons and tons of quests to go through. Right now, I think I'm only working on a few of them. Into the Fire, which is the main one. I've also got Opportunity Knock and the New Arrivals, Bureau of Tourism. We've got these random quests, these miscellaneous quests. We've got this one over here for the dailies. There's events that we can do. Those are numbers. I don't know. Something about supervisors need to be eliminated. So there's always something going on that you can work on, whether it's quest lines or repeatables. Now, this is where you get into sort of if you've never played an online game as a service before, the caveat to all of this is that quests like this are repeatable and they pop up periodically. So once you've done them a few times, the magic sort of wears off for people. And it wears off for me too. I'm as guilty as it is the next person. I'm not a big fan of grinding dailies day in and day out. I don't mind doing them occasionally, but I don't want to do them all the time. So what I'm primarily interested in when I play a game is storyline. And the way this game does stories is a combination of NPCs and things that you'll find in the environment that are like notes left behind by people or survivors, or you'll find audio the audio cassettes that you can put in your pip finder. So if I were to go into my pip finder right now as an example, we could go in here into my items. I think it's probably going to be in... Yeah, so like we could listen to these like how to place your camp and like building at your camp, so we can plug
Hello,
this in.
dedicated listeners. Welcome back to Headmaster Mort's EduTapes. Today, in this second tape, we are talking construction. Now, the first step of construction is... Wait, what? Is that soda? Soda's red, right? Wait, oh. Electing. First, electing what you're going to build. Once you've made that election, it's just 3 easy questions.
While he's talking.
Success. 1. Is the location I've selected going to work for an object of the size and shape I'm building?
Hang on,
2,
I'm paying attention to this actually now.
Have I read the schematics thoroughly? And 3, do I have all the required materials too? Who the hell bled on my notes? Saul! If I find out it was you, you're gonna bleed on... Whatever. Just finish, Mort. Short on materials? Loot the local junkyard.
So they're giving me a breakdown where to find materials to build things.
Missing a critical schematic? Your local vendors might have just
where do I find schematics and blueprints?
And on that note, this has been Headmaster Mort's EduTapes. See you again soon. Solomon, so help me, this better be Jen. Where are you hiding?
It's a fun line of dialogue. So we're getting the traditional quirky Fallout humor is here. The traditional Fallout violence is a little less prevalent here than it would be in Fallout 76, mostly because since this is an online game, there are some considerations that have to be made for making this as accessible to as wide of an audience as possible, not as popular. If you're familiar with like crafting survival games, this has all those crafting survival elements. You have all these workstations that you can build. He was just talking about placing things. That was if I were to come over here and use my camp system, I can then go up here and pick things like floors and walls, and you know, there's these different types of rooftops and different types of stairs that you can build, and different types of... Ooh, that door looks really cool. Yeah. So all these different things that you can build, including all of your resource building machines, your crafting machines, turrets and traps. Like I already have a turret right here that I've placed. So there's lots of different things you can build with this system, and one of the strengths of Fallout 76 is definitely like the fact that people can build these amazing outposts, and then other players can go into those outposts and use the NPCs. They can use the armor workbenches. They can get purified water from the water filters, because you do need to drink and eat here, and everything is infected with radiation. So if I were to go down, actually I could do it right here, like this water right here, if I were to drink it, it would satisfy my thirst, but it would also give me rads. Drink a little bit more. So there's the rads that are happening right here. But it is satisfying my thirst all over there on the far right, so I've filled that bar up. So I'm no longer thirsty, but I now have rads. And if I wanted to eat some food, I would need to go in here to my food and drink and go from here and eat something like a ribeye steak. So crafting survival elements, those are all here. But I find that you're not going to die. It's just when you're eating and drinking, you get better regen rates and other things. So it feels like a very light version. And I talked about this earlier today when I was streaming. The one thing I'll say about this game is if you've played Fallout 1, 2, 3, or 4, but you've never played this, those games can be brutally difficult. This is not the case. Everything here scales to your level. Uh-oh, something's coming at me. Something's coming this way. Did you see that, guys? My turret might take care of this. I'll take it. Oh! Yeah, my turret definitely. So that was not a bad guy, but those definitely were. So this is the perfect moment for me to continue talking about outposts, because you can build walls and you can build structures which keep those animals from getting into your camp. I at least have a turret set up, but yeah, that was kind of brutal, man. Totally wasn't ready for that. Are we good? Are we good? Can I continue? The survival element is pretty light in this game. I've been having a lot of fun with it because it's not as harsh as, you know, like Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like I've been playing that as well, and like you could die from like not eating and drinking. That's not the case here. The overworld itself feels pretty easy. Some of the places you can go feel kind of like some of the group-based areas you can go can be super dangerous. But the overworld scales, so I feel like you're never really going to find yourself in really super crucial bad areas where you're going to get overwhelmed and die. And I give you a good example of this. If you've never played these games before, there's a system called VATS, VATS, which allows you to target specific body parts in the previous Fallout games. Now in this game, you have to get a perk card to allow you to target the other body parts, but otherwise you can run in here, and we can either choose to play it normally, like just shoot it like this. We're going to aim, take him down that way, or we can use the VATS system like this. Which is based on action points, which are at the bottom right of my screen, and are represented by like how much agility you have and so on and so forth. What is out here shooting at us? There's one more. Also, I heard you.
Potential source found. Potential source found.
When you have VATS running, you don't actually have to use the aiming structure because it'll just
Message. The Forest Watch detects all
it'll automatically hit.
Good job. Responder team, proceed to the Ag Center and get to the mainframe. You need to reset the farmhand targeting parameters. That should keep our people safe in the area.
We could do that, but I'm not going to, because what I want to do is I want to take you to a different location. We'll go spend some caps, take you over here, show you some more of the maps. We are in the Appalachian Mountains, so as a general rule, everything kind of looks same, but we do have different settlements and different areas that could look completely different depending on where you're going, what time of day or night it is. And if you can get up high enough, I don't remember if there's a tower anywhere that I can go to off the top of my head. But I know over here, like if you go up here to the ski lodge, because I remember going up here earlier when I played like a couple years back, you can go find some really good viewpoints from up top and look down across the entirety of the valley, which is a very impressive view when that happens. I don't think there's anything over here. Let's go to Voltech University. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. But it is a pretty big map, and to run from the bottom to the top, I don't even want to speculate how long it would take to actually make that run. But it's a big, open, seamless area. We've got cities like this. It looks like we've got cloud cover pretty much everywhere we go. And in this case, we can go exploring and see what we can find. So the quest I'm working on right now has been to follow in the paths of like the responders, and now I've got this quest to go join the fire breathers, which we're going to be doing, and we're live streaming all of the exploration of this game. The one thing I would say is that coming from previous Fallout games in the franchise, and especially after having just watched the show, a lot of people ask, is Fallout 76 a good game? It is a good game. Does it feel like Fallout? It absolutely feels like Fallout. Now, I know if you ask the certain vocal minority of people who just hate everything Bethesda done, if you come out of the woodwork and say something like, should you play Fallout 76? Is Fallout 76 a good game? You're going to get people who just, they love Fallout 4 and hate Fallout 6. And they're like, Bethesda did this, that, or the other. It is true that Fallout 76 had a troubled launch. There was a variety of issues at launch with the way the game was released. And Bethesda, to their credit, fixed those issues. It's been 6 years since it launched, and the Fallout 76 that exists in 2024 is not even remotely the same thing as the game that launched in 2018. And I think that it bears I think you should give credit where credit is due. People were all over when Larian Studios was patching Baldur's Gate 3 after that game launched, because it launched and it had a ton of bugs. And every time that Baldur's Gate 3 would come out with a patch list, it would have hundreds, if not thousands, in some cases more than 1,000 things in the patch notes. And every time they did that, people would be like, "Oh, Larian Studios, you're so amazing for patching these things. I wish all these other companies were like you." And it's like, well, every company out there patches video games. So it's funny to me how people will give one company all the credit and, "Oh, you have hundreds and thousands of bugs in your game. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good, Larian Studios." But then turn on to Bethesda and say Bethesda should die in a fire because they released a game in a bugged state and all this other stuff. Ignore those people. Ignore the neckbeard Fallout gatekeeping toxic fandom. Ignore them completely. This is a very good game. It's a lot of fun. I don't see any issues from what I've been seeing so far from my initial playthrough of Fallout 76. I'm, like I said, 7 episodes or so into my play session, so I'm 10 plus hours. If I had one complaint, and it's not really a complaint, it would be a critique that I make with all MMOs, which is that, they feel too easy in the open world, and that's because everything is catered to single-player content these days, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like the open world here is skewed a little bit more towards the easy side, and they have to do that because it's an MMO that's like available on Game Pass and all this stuff, so they want that barrier of entry to be as low as possible and then gradually work people up to the difficulty, which is the group-based content and the events and things that you can go do with other players. So the Fallout feel is there, the Fallout look is there. It's got the fun, quirky dialogue. It's got great gunplay. I've got lots of weapons. The crafting system, the deconstruction system, all of that is super in-depth. It's a huge map. There's a second map coming with the expansion later in 2024. There's a lot to see and do here. There's tons of character cosmetics. As you can see, my character looks sort of like a hipster lumberjack because that's the clothing that I've chose to put him in. There's the outposts. There's all these different things that you can say and do and see here in this game. So my early thoughts are that I'm having fun with it, and that's all I ever care to get out of a video game. I want to have fun. Ignore all the people who say one thing or the other and want to hate on it because of reasons. Just ignore those people, because if you can, I promise you there is a really fun game here under the hood, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm definitely going to be playing this for the foreseeable future. As I always tell people, as long as the traffic is good on the videos and the live streams, I will continue to play things, because as long as the interest is there, then it's financially justifiable for me to sit there and do the streams and create content around the games. So if you also like Fallout 76 and you want more, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Daily streams happen between here and on Twitch. My early thoughts here are that I really like the game. I'm going to continue to play it as long as everybody's tuning in. So hopefully we'll see you in the next live stream or video. And until then, stay safe, happy gaming. Don't forget the Patreon, the Discord, and get a copy of my latest book down there. See you guys.